Good morning, everyone. 12 News meteorologist Stephen Matrigrano here with a check of your Weather Now update for this Monday. Looking at mild and muggy conditions out there this morning, but it'll be a hot one later on today with temperatures in some locations, at least, across inland areas getting into the 90s. So it's going to be a hot and humid day. Here's Newport, of course, Narragansett. Not much to see right now. Of course, it's still dark out there, but certainly we're looking at quiet weather thanks to high pressure in control. Temperatures in the 60s this morning, even some 50s popping up. Dew points also in the 60s. So again, it's that muggy feel when you step outside. As I mentioned, radar's quiet because of the high pressure that is in control. That's been the case really the last several days. We've had a nice stretch of weather, and that will continue along with the heat and humidity that's building back in for early this week. So this morning's forecast, temperatures jumping up pretty quickly through the 70s, and by 10 a.m. we'll be in the low 80s, and by noontime, closer to 90 degrees. Keep in mind, it'll feel even hotter than that when you factor in that humidity. So again, just, as has been the case all summer long, just find ways to stay cool and maybe have that extra glass of water today, this afternoon, looking at those temperatures. Again, low 90s inland and hot, humid conditions with a lot of sunshine for the afternoon. Here's a snapshot of about 3 p.m. or so. You can kind of see the heat is confined to inland areas. Still really warm at the coastline, but not nearly as warm. Looking at low to mid 80s down at the shoreline. And it's a great beach day overall, sunny, dry. Safe sun index about 25 minutes, low rip current risk, and the bay forecast also not too bad as well, with those winds out of the southwest shifting south about 5 to 15 knots. So as I mentioned, it's muggy, it's humid out there. That will continue for the bulk of this week, even seeing those dew points rising into the 70s for Wednesday and Thursday. That also coincides with, of course, more moisture in the atmosphere, which means our chances of showers and even a thunderstorm does rise for the middle part of the week, and that'll actually help to break some of the heat, at least for the latter part of the second half of the week. So let's shift gears here and talk about the tropics. We've been tracking an area in the eastern Atlantic, right near the Cape Verde Islands there. That would be potentially become a system in the next 7 days. The Hurricane Center is giving that a 90% chance of becoming a tropical cyclone, which means getting a name. Next name on the list would be Aaron. This forecast for this system by the model guidance that we use is really hinting at it becoming a pretty strong system and potentially a hurricane, which would be the first one of the season. And you can see that red path there is the general movement of this system. So looking at that to potentially develop, and a pretty good chance at that over the next 7 to 10 days. What that means for us, of course, we're just simply too far away. We'll just be keeping tabs on that system as it treks across the Atlantic. But taking things back closer to home here next few days, our main weather story, hot, humid conditions, low 90s next few days. Again, inland areas seeing that heat, and maybe a spot late day storm for the day on Wednesday. But that's a check of your forecast. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great day.